A lot of people get this question wrong, and I'm just going to be blunt here. It's because you're lazy. It's because you didn't follow instructions. You cut corners when you shouldn't have. So the way that this goes, it's an ideas question. We have an actual question. We should follow the instructions in the question, and they want us to link the first paragraph with the ideas that follow. So that means I need to think about the first paragraph, and we've done a lot of questions about that at this point, so we have a sense of what it's about. But just to remind you, we're talking about paintings of animals, okay? From Michelangelo's David, blah, blah, blah. Artists have favored representation as members of their own species to those of other species. Indeed, when we think about animals depicted in well-known works of art, the image of dogs playing poker, popularized blah, 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 the only one that comes to mind. Yet some of the earliest known works of art, including paintings and drawings tens of thousands of years old, found on cave walls in Spain and France, portray animals, nor has artistic homage to our fellow creatures entirely died out in the millennia since, despite the many years that have passed between then and now. Hopefully, you recognize, even without reading any more, that choice A is kind of stupid. Yeah, we know that lots of millennia have passed. They just said that. We don't need to, define the fact that time is passing. This adds nothing. This is just like a stupid little phrase that says something that's obvious that we already know. Time passes, okay? So, A, wrong. Now, from here, I guess what people do is they kind of just go by the fact that we're talking about animals, and they pick either B, which is about cats and animals, I guess, and C, which I guess is about animals, but it's kind of saying the opposite, right? That it's not about animals, that most of them are about people. And so you're kind of in this animal mindset, but you haven't done the job of the question. You haven't followed instructions. The question says to link it to the next paragraph. So I have to read this next paragraph. And for me, in my version of the test, this paragraph is on the next page. So this is why I said you were lazy at the beginning. You didn't flip the page. We have to always remember that the page breaks are not, breaks in the logic of the passage. So if we're told to read something, we need to flip between pages. And so if we do that, we see instantly that we're talking about this state museum in Russia. And it's about the cats guarding the museum in Russia. Peter the Great, in charge of Russia, introduced the first cat to this museum. And then more about the people, and more about the Russia. So what's it about? How are we linking the cats to Russia? Through this museum that has cats, and is in Russia, and has pictures of cats. So it's really, really obvious if we read this other paragraph. But if we don't, then this seems like complete nonsense, right? I mean, museum in Russia is not mentioned at all in the first paragraph. So I get that doesn't seem obvious from that point of view, but the question was explicit. They told us what to do, so we have to follow that instruction. And then, it's just there. It's obvious. So we've seen, in all of these SAT videos that I've done, that the SAT frequently tries to trick us. But one place where they don't is in the instructions to these questions. They're very clear with what they want. So you have to, trust the parts of the SAT that are trustworthy, okay? This is one of them. And so if you don't read the instructions, you're going to get stuff wrong. And if you do, it's just a matter of, the answer popping out. It's that easy. So don't be lazy, especially in writing where you feel like you can just, instantly listen for the best answer. No, you got to do what you're told when you have instructions. They're really important.